Good morning, friends. Daily Dose with Dr. Lazar. What do you expect? That's the big question of the day. What do you expect? There was a dad and a little girl. They were going to church, and the farmers in the community had been praying because there was a drought, and the farmers had been praying that it would rain. And so they went to church, and the little girl was listening very attentively to her daddy telling her about how the farmers were praying for rain. And it was sunny. It had been in the middle of a drought. And they were walking into church, and she was holding his hand, and she said, "Daddy, do the people really think it's going to rain? Like, do they really think God's going to answer this prayer?" And he said, "Of course they do." And she said, "Well, then why did nobody bring an umbrella to church?" And that story reminds me so much of how we're expected to expect. So when we're asking God for things, when we're challenging ourselves for things, when we're working toward things, what is it that we expect? Management 101 teaches that whatever managers expect out of their people is exactly what they get. So if managers think that people are going to show up late and leave early and steal from them, that's the way they're going to lead, and that's exactly the team they're going to have. What are you asking God for right now and not expecting him to answer? Now, here's the thing. When we put effort or energy into a system, we can't lose energy. There's a law of conservation of energy that says energy can't be created or destroyed. So think about that and apply it to your life. If energy can't be created or destroyed, it's only conserved. Then the question isn't how do I get more? It's how do I put it where I want it? Really is all it is. And we do that by what we focus on, what we attach meaning to. So the question becomes at that point, what are you expecting? Now, sometimes our subconscious mind will ask and not expect because we don't want to be wrong. Our subconscious wants to be right. And how many times in your life has something happened where you've asked for something half-heartedly, didn't think it was going to happen, it didn't happen, and you said, "See, I knew that wasn't going to happen. I just knew it." Well, good job, you were right. That's not the outcome you really wanted. And so a story from when I was early in practice, I didn't have the money to do marketing. I didn't even look at it as marketing, really. I looked at it as the work we do saves lives and changes lives for generations. I know that to my bones. I know that. And I told my team over the years, as soon as people find out what this really is, they'll be lined up around the building. I truly believed that, and I still do. And so what I would do, yes, I needed to run a business. Yes, I needed to build the organization, but I would literally go around the neighborhoods. I would work in the office, and then in the evening, sometimes Carrie and the kids would bring me dinner in the minivan, and they would drive me to a subdivision just so I could see the kids for a little bit. And I would get out, and I would go door to door. I would hand out information and just say, "Hey, we're the new chiropractic office in town, and you need to know about this," and that sort of thing. And it was scary. I mean, I love meeting people, but not at dinner time knocking on your door like a salesman. I didn't like that. But here's what would happen. The phone would start ringing. And it wasn't necessarily the people I went and knocked on their doors. And what I learned then, and I've had to relearn a dozen times, is that when you put effort and energy into a system, there will always be results. It may not be from the channel that you use. In other words, it may not have been those people whose doors I knocked on, but there is always a return. And any of you that have done any of Tony Robbins' work, or really anybody that does any sort of performance coaching, is they talk about massive action steps, taking massive action. And it's only effective when we say, forget the results. I know that sounds weird, but if we say, forget the results, if I'm going to work out, I'm going to work out, and I'm not going to worry if I look better today or tomorrow or this month. I'm just going to take massive action. If I'm going to put energy into this sales system, I'm just going to take massive action. And if we start acting like farmers, planting as many seeds as we can, casting the net as wide as we can, and trusting God for the results, really, really cool stuff happens. So I would challenge you today. What are you asking for but not expecting? All you have to do, keep asking, but keep expecting. And you know what? It may not work out the way you thought it was going to. In fact, it likely won't work out the way you thought it was going to. That is okay. Be willing to be wrong and ask with boldness, without fear, and with full expectation that if your ask is in alignment with God's perfect will for your life, expect that he'll give it to you. He's a good dad, and he'll want you to have it if it's in alignment with his will. So one of the caveats to what you're asking is make sure that you're asking that your heart aligns with his heart while you're asking those things. Full disclosure, I didn't mean to go so preachy today. Definitely apologize about that, but it's true. Hi, Patty. Good morning. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. So anyway, what are you expecting? What do you expect? If you ask and don't expect, the Bible says you're like a man being tossed around by the waves, right? Don't do that. So Carla, great to see you on here also. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you have questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below there. And we'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another Daily Dose. I'm Dr. Lazar. Have a great day.